try to use checkpoints. And checkpoints are for time management. And all I want to do is, you're playing a 10-minute game. By the time you get to move number 15, opening is complete, middle game, you want to have 7 minutes. So all I want is, if you remember, look at the clock. If you have 9 minutes, that means you're fine. It also means you might be playing too fast, so be careful with that. Adjust a little bit. If you look at the clock and you have 5 minutes instead of 7 or 6 minutes, just adjust. Just play a little bit faster. Just don't overthink. It's not the time to look for the beautiful move or calculate a lot. Just simple moves, safe moves like castling, improve a piece, capture something of the same value. Just adjust. Then by move number 30, you want to have around 4 minutes. By move number 40, this one, I said, if you remember this one, just 2 minutes. I just want them to adjust and play a little bit faster when you have 4 minutes rather than when you have 10 seconds. Too late to adjust anything, right? All right, this is finally a video to just wrap up Coach Shams, just to share with you what we did, what kind of training I did with my under 800 student, under 1200, 1600, 2000, because a lot of you have sent messages through chess.com, through YouTube to say congrats, so thank you, but also asking exactly what was done. And like I always say, I repeat the same thing over and over and over. But still, let's put it in a video quickly. And let's actually begin with my, in case you don't know what we're talking about. Coach Champs is just this event where chess.com put us together, 8 coaches, and they gave us 4 different players, one from under 800, 1200, 1600, 2000. And then we had to coach them, work with them for a little bit over a month. And at the end, they would play a tournament per section, and then they would add up the points. And then the team with the most points would win the event, right? Now, I'm going to go group by group just to tell you exactly what we did. Essentially, with all of them, I met once a week, 1 hour a week, and I gave him a training plan. And then we talked a lot through messages on chess.com and so on. Each group, I just focused on one skill and one skill only that I wanted them to develop. And it comes down to, we have a month and a half. If someone tells you, hey, you're going to be competing in a month and a half in basketball against these other 8 players, and I give you a basketball and you just shoot for a month and a half, I think you could be better than you were a month earlier, right? So for a lot of people, it's not a lot of time, but it could be if you do what you have to do. But you cannot be all over the place. You have to focus. So let me begin with VTOM under 2000, because I think this is going to give you a very good idea of what we did and what we did not do. So VTOM, he killed it, 6 points out of 6 in the first 6 rounds. He won his section easily. And we did 2 main things with VTOM. Number 1, and I want to throw it in here, that way you guys don't forget about it. We did talk about psychology. Very, very, very important. I'll tell you more about it. He sent me some messages that I was concerned about. But then if you look, by the way, his face when we first started, he was always smiling, beautiful face. After a month and a half training together, look at that. Very stoic, different person. And then I guess this would be the best way to summarize what we did or did not do. In this article released by chess.com, they say how VTOM, in move number 3, he falls for a typical opening trap. He lost the pawn, almost loses the queen, but guess what? If you keep going, in the end, there was a very nice tactic where his opponent attacks the rook. VTOM is down in this position, but he finds this tactic very quickly. Give me the bishop. You get the rook, but then my pawn goes, no one can stop it. And yes, when we met my under 2000, Cebu 13, who's my under 1600, they didn't really have what I was expecting when it came to opening. I thought they were going to be like, hey, these are my openings, my babies. I've been playing them. I have them very well studied. Not the case. They were like, look, I played this and there, but never gone too deep into them. However, they knew enough chess to get to the middle game, which is what we wanted. And we focused on getting them really good at this 1-2, 1-2-3 combination. That's it. We don't need to calculate 7 moves. We don't need a lot of strategy. Just get really good at that. And that's why a lot of VTOM's games, for example, he'll come out of the opening in a worse position, but then it came down to tactics in the middle game, the end game, and he could find those quicker, and that's why he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, what did we do? What is the main ingredient for VTOM? We went to Chess Tempo, And we have a video on this, of course. Also, I released an article for chess.com with a training plan. And I just talked about the same thing with the same thing. You go to chess tempo, you go to training, you go to tactics, and then here you get to change the set and you choose blitz. Then medium, you could do easy or hard if you want to play around with that. And then you go on and do this. Now, both Vitom and Cebu, they did lots and lots of this. So they'll send me a text message, hey, finished with chess tempo. I did 78, 80 in one sitting. So that's really, really important. Other than that, with Vitom, he was very concerned because some of the coaches in the event had done some live streams earlier and they would get upset and the stream. I'm not going to show you the message, but he sent it to me on chess.com. And, I had to talk to him and be like, look, man, I don't care about that. If you put me in your section tomorrow, I'm probably going to get destroyed. So relax and have fun, right? And he went on and he said it at the end when he was interviewed. He said, my coach didn't put any pressure on me. And I think that's important. If you're a parent, if you're a player, if you're a coach, be open-minded. And there are other things that I wanted to share with you when it comes to training and preparation. Now, let's go all the way back to my under 800, who is Thanos V. And Thanos, the main ingredient was, hey, under 800, 10-minute games plus 2-second increment, hanging pieces. So what did we do? First few weeks, you go to stepchess.com, which, by the way, I always said, I don't know how reliable this website is. Some of my browsers say not safe, so I never put my real information here. But if you go to training and then they give you like this puzzle rush and you could be like, I have that, they have this everywhere. But the cool thing about it is you get to pick the theme. So in the beginning, we did a lot of hanging piece. You come here, 5 minutes, alternate between 5 minutes and survival, and they only give you hanging pieces and hanging pieces and hanging pieces. Later, we added the same thing, but we added the basic tactical patterns such as the fork, the pin, the skewer, discoveries, and checkmate in one move. That's it. And then at the very end, then we threw in the mixed anything. They give you a little bit of anything. But that's it. Hanging piece, hanging piece, hanging piece. Of course, we met and we talked about if you're ahead, simplify the game. Things that you already know if you follow me on YouTube. If you're behind, complicate the game. And then for openings with my under 800 Thanos V, he already played the London system as white, so I don't want to change anything if I don't have to. As black, he didn't have anything, so I showed him a few. He decided to go for lesson number 51, the check peers, easy to implement, and he did that. Dina actually was messing around with me saying, how can you teach this to your students? You're such a bad coach teaching that opening. But again, for me, it was just Thanos, get to the middle game, keep it simple. Let's try to score a few points. I don't need you to win the tournament in your section, but don't be the last one. We need a few points. And he actually brought home like 6 points for the team. So that was excellent. And then for my under 1200, which is 84 moves, we did also do this because when we first began, he's like, I'm getting in trouble with basic patterns like discoveries and so on. So we came in here, you look for discovery, you do your puzzle rush, and we mix it up with a little bit of the other patterns too, right? But then with him, I really, really worked on, okay, if you're ahead, let's convert. This is what you do to convert, simplify the game. When it came to openings, he already had my Chessable course on the Stonewall attack, first strike, so keep that. As black, he told me, oh, I played the Scandinavian and the French. All I did was play with him a couple games, one with each opening. I told him, look, I think you're playing the French better. You're getting more solid positions. So he did stick to that. I just wanted them to pick whatever opening they liked, play it for a month and a half. That way we would get enough material to normalize the mistakes. These are the mistakes that you typically make. We can work on that. And that was pretty much it. Then for my under 1600 Cebu, I told him 4 things, right? And this is something that I shared with all of them. The openings, Cebu, he told me, look, man, sometimes I play D4, sometimes I play E4. So I just told him, look, pick one. That way we, again, the same thing. We have some consistency. Number 2, all of them, I asked them to try to use checkpoints. The other thing was the tactics. And we played games and so on, right? So Cebu was the one that added flavor to my experience because he was like, nope, I'm not going to do any of that. And okay, I told him, look, man, no ego here. I respect what you want to do. I will adapt to you, because he wanted to just study each one of his opponents, prepare a specific line against them, and then try to get them like that, right? And we compromised, so I helped him with that. He did stick to the tactics, so he did do chess tempo, and Cebu actually killed his section as well. He did really, really, really well. So that's pretty much everything that we did. We just picked one skill, we did focus on it, and then as we move up through the ladder, we gotta find that other skill and add it to it. Of course, it doesn't mean ignore everything else. You have to sprinkle your end games, your strategy, and so on, but we have to be open-minded. And especially if you're a coach, if you're a parent, understand there are different methods to get to the same place. Be flexible, have fun with this, make it a fun experience, not something that your students or your kids don't want to go to.